Hi guys, Shane here with Whelan Cameras, and today I'm talking to Sam from Sony. Okay, hi Sam, how are you keeping? It's a long time no see, how are you getting on?
Yeah, it feels like forever, Shane. It's okay. It's different set of challenges, an awful lot of things done via virtual communications, like we're doing now, which I really miss the sort of the hands-on time with the cameras that normally we would have. I remember the last time we were together, it was a real fun day of playing with cameras and generating some really good content out of it.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. It's really interesting. I was talking to the guys in Whelan's about this, that the whole COVID situation has obviously transformed a lot, but I think it's also sped up a lot of changes that were already coming. And I mean, for us, we've obviously been doing video content for a while, but it really is amazing to see how far the technology has come. That now, we used to have to fly you in to talk about all the gear, but now here we are on the internet, and I think that's, something we could have done before, but maybe just didn't realize or didn't have that kind of, oh, why would we bother with it? But now it's amazing to see not only is it possible, but everybody around the world is doing it all the time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't think it's a fluke that during this interesting period we've released our webcam software for a range of our cameras. So for the first time now we do a dedicated piece of software. You can use your anything from an A6600 all the way down to one of the RX100 cameras as a webcam. And that's probably directly come from the need for people to communicate in this new way.
Yeah, the webcam software is incredible. And actually, I suppose the RX100 would be a really tidy little camera to use for the webcam.
Yeah, there's a whole range of different cameras that you can use, and they don't have to be very expensive. Although some really do lend themselves towards it. Our ZV-1 vlogging camera is a great piece of kit because it has the autofocus system to make sure that it either tracks your human eye, or if you put it into its product showcase mode, you can hold items up to the camera and the focus will instantly jump to the product you're demonstrating. So yeah, it's some good kit.
Lovely. I love that little camera. That was really tidy. We got one in here to the shop and I got to take it out. Amazing, the audios, it was able to figure out where I was, and it was able to change the different microphones depending where I was. And I got to say, the Sony autofocus is uncanny in how accurate it is. Like, it knew what I wanted it to do before I even knew. But yeah, the last time that you were in, we were looking at the RX100 Mark VI, which had just come out, and also the Sony A7 III, both very different but very good cameras. But today I really wanted to talk to you about the A7C. And I suppose, where does it fit? It's kind of, it's small and light, it's nimble and fast, but it's also a full frame sensor. So how do you see this camera?
Well, you're right. It's a really interesting piece of kit. Its key wow factor is, of course, its size. I've got one here. In fact, it's the smallest full frame camera with interchangeable lenses on the market, and it lends itself to several different purposes because of that. It is quite close related to an A7 Mark III because it has 24 megapixels, it has 693 autofocus points. But whereas the A7 Mark III weighs 650 grams, this just weighs 509 grams, so it's a lot lighter and smaller. So it's probably going to appeal to people who want to step up to full frame photography but don't want the big camera, don't maybe want the complication that a DSLR can suggest when you start looking at the more advanced cameras. That doesn't mean it's not a really powerful beast. It is, like you say, a full frame camera in an extremely small form factor. But to be honest with you, I think the sort of person it might appeal to is to people like myself. A lot of people sometimes are surprised that I shoot almost everything with my trusty 6600. This goes everywhere with me, and that's partially due to the fact that it will just about fit into a large coat pocket. If I'm going to shoot anything really serious though, such as a christening or something like that, I'd always go full frame. But with this product, it tempts me away from my 6600 because it's effectively the same size. And of course I get that fantastic bokeh, that shallow depth of field that we used to with full frame cameras.
A lot of the technology that's going into these cameras is coming from a video point. And can you talk me down a little bit of what separates this from, say, some of the high-end video stuff? Is that technology filtering down?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, a lot of people will compare this camera to an Alpha 7 Mark III, but actually it has some more advanced video features than you find in the Mark III. For example, this can do eye autofocus while shooting video, whereas the A7 Mark III can only recognize faces when shooting video, or it does eye autofocus when shooting still images. So with this we have improved autofocus technology, and it's 15 stops of dynamic range, so it's fantastically powerful in low light. And of course it has the image stabilization system, which gives you 5 stops of image stabilization, which again really lends itself to video, because it's not unimaginable that a camera this size you're going to want to gimbal it. It's, you know, it's small, it's light, and it's full frame. So we have fantastic, as you'd expect, 4K video, and because it's a relatively high resolution sensor, 24 megapixels, we have our clear image zoom technology, so we can zoom into that video without using optical glass, without losing video quality. So it really does lend itself. And of course with the 180-degree screen, it's going to be hopefully really appealing to vloggers. I'm currently using my 6600 to talk to you, well, a second 6600, and that of course has a top flip screen, so I can see myself. But with this, it folds around the side for a really easy to use vlogging or blogging camera, and of course it's compatible as well with our VPT2BT grip, which is our Bluetooth grip, which acts as both a mini tripod, full set of video controls on here, so it's really handy for holding up, talking to the camera, and still having full control of it, even though the controls are obviously facing away from you. So yeah, it's a great little all-rounder when it comes to video.
Lovely. Yeah, I mean, as a videographer, I mean, I'm just increasingly blown away by how much we're able to fit into smaller and smaller forms. One curveball question that's just come into mind is I'm thinking about the impact of phones, and I think is that impacting Sony's thinking here? I mean, are you looking at, obviously phone sensors are so small, but then you're looking at now full frame sensors in a small body. Is that kind of playing a little bit of the thought process behind this?
Well, phones have definitely affected the market. Our entry-level business has got gradually slower over the years, and that's because mobile phones do a very good job of taking quick snaps. I have my own Sony Xperia, as you'd imagine, the Xperia 1 Mark II, which features 3 different cameras on the back of it for 3 different purposes. So we have to take this into consideration. But the way that I use my camera and my phone together is in a partnership. I want to take fantastic shots, usually with some control over aperture, shutter speed, ISO, and that's to somewhat extent possible with a mobile phone, but obviously not quite the level that you get with something like an A7C. So for example, I had to go into the office yesterday to collect some kit. When I was sat on the train station afterwards, the sun was just going down, it had been raining, and it was a really contrasty scene. And I wanted to take a shot where I'd capture the details in the highlights and the shadows at the same time, which is something that mobile phones, due to the sensor size, do struggle with. You know, 9 times out of 10, if you're taking a picture of your cat to send to your friends, it'll do a perfectly good job. But when you're trying to paint that picture, that's what warrants the extra investment. So the great combination of a small interchangeable lens camera comes into play. That obviously we have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built into these cameras. We use Wi-Fi, and it's the new standard of 5G Wi-Fi to transfer images straight to your mobile phone, and then obviously straight onto the web. So the picture went via both my camera and my phone in order to get to Instagram, and that's a really nice partnership.
Absolutely. No, and I love that word partnership, and I think it really is that kind of cohesive, integrated ecosystem, and I think that's what Sony does so well. It's really got a product for every person and every situation. Thanks for coming here and having a chat with us here at Whelan's, and hopefully we will see you in Limerick again, and we'll have a chance to use the A7C maybe back at the castle.
Well, it's a fantastic piece of kit, and Limerick is obviously a great place for going out and taking photos. We had a great day at the castle, and yeah, I look forward to my next opportunity to come on and we'll have another proper play with the cameras.
Lovely. Thanks, Sam. I'll see you then.
Cheers, Shane. Bye-bye.